Do you remember that historic moment in 2018 and 2019 when the leaders of the United States and North Korea met and shook hands? It seemed like the two countries were breaking away from tension and threats and moving toward true peace. Yet, in the end, the negotiations fell through. Despite such a promising opportunity, why did the US North Korea talks ultimately fail? Today, let's explore this complex and important issue together. North Korea and the United States drew global attention as they promised peace and denuclearization during the summits held in Singapore and Hanoi. However, contrary to expectations, both meetings ultimately ended in failure. Why couldn't the two countries fully understand each other's positions, and why was reaching an agreement so difficult? According to the research, the primary reason the two countries failed to reach an agreement was the signaling dilemma. North Korea was deeply concerned about the serious security risks it might face in the process of giving up its nuclear weapons. On the other hand, the United States found it difficult to fully trust the signals North Korea was sending about its willingness to denuclearize. In the end, a significant perception gap emerged between North Korea, the sender of the signals, and the United States, the interpreter. This gap ultimately hindered the success of the negotiations. For example, North Korea took the bold step of blowing up the Punggye-ri nuclear test site and making the event public to the world. From North Korea's perspective, this was a significant and irreversible concession. However, the United States did not trust this move. It viewed the demolition as insufficient, believing the site could be easily restored. Furthermore, the US demanded that North Korea disclose a full list of its nuclear weapons and facilities, an additional request that North Korea considered excessively risky. From Pyongyang's standpoint, revealing the locations of its nuclear assets could seriously compromise its security. The United States underestimated North Korea's security concerns, while North Korea felt its concessions were not properly recognized or appreciated. What we can learn from this study is clear. For negotiations to succeed, it is essential to deeply understand and respect the other party's perspective, particularly their security concerns and anxieties. When a relatively stronger nation demands greater sacrifices from a weaker one, it must approach those demands in a trustworthy and credible manner if it hopes to reach an agreement. If a major power focuses solely on the credibility of signals, while failing to genuinely consider the vulnerabilities of the other party, negotiations are bound to fail. Ultimately, successful diplomacy requires sincere effort to understand and accommodate the other side's position.
In the end, the failure of nuclear negotiations between North Korea and the United States was not merely a matter of politics or diplomacy. It was largely a human and psychological issue rooted in a lack of genuine understanding of each other's perspectives. For future negotiations to succeed, what's most needed is not only clear and sincere signaling, but also the ability to empathize, to truly respect and deeply understand the other side's position. What do you think? As we look ahead, what changes do you believe are necessary for the world to move toward lasting peace? Let's reflect on this important question together.